This is going to be walk number 9 in the Siren Walk series that I've been doing. And today I'm starting it here in Inglewood in South Los Angeles. And I wanted to start here because I just love these historical markers and finding out different history of our area. So this marker, it reads, you'll have to forgive my Spanish, Aguaje de la Centinela Springs. On this site, bubbling springs once flowed from their source in a deep water basin which has existed continuously since the Pleistocene era. Prehistoric animals, Indians, and early Inglewood settlers were attracted here by the pure artesian water. The springs and valley were named after sentinels guarding cattle in the area. It's a California Registered Historical Landmark number 363. And then over here, right next to me here, I guess is where they had water flowing out of, because there's a little mark on there, you know, from time immemorial, God's blessing of sweet water to all his creatures. And another cool thing while I was doing this, I mean, you can't see it now, but there was a red-tailed hawk circling up over here and going to the tree. So I'm gonna call that a good omen for today. I'm already enjoying this trip. So let's see what sirens I can find. So the sirens are getting more spread out now, meaning I'm not gonna see as many on these walks as I did in the first ones. So today I'm gonna be doing about a 9-mile loop around Hyde Park, and we're gonna see a total of 4 sirens. So let's head on over to the next one. So I'm walking around here and I'm seeing these train stations. You know, the rails are shut down. There's no trains coming through here. See, there's a fence here blocking the whole thing. But I just asked one of the workers, and I guess this is the Green Line extension or of some sort. I had no idea they were building this. I'm a huge fan of the metro taking it places because I hate driving, being stuck in my car. So in the future, once this is done and you guys want to see these sirens, you know, you can just take the trains down here. Another thing that I love about these train tracks in these areas is, I don't know if you can see it over my shoulder here, but these buildings, I just love the murals and the artwork and the street art that's all over Los Angeles. Thinking about doing videos on that. They're just everywhere, so it'd just be a little bit more difficult to plan. But yeah, it's part of the things I enjoy about these trips, just finding these new things. All right, so enough of that. Onto our first siren. So from Edward Vincent Jr. Park, where the Centinela Springs was, I walked down like 68th and 71st. There's no direct route with the train station being built, and that brought me down here to Crenshaw and 71st, where right there is our first siren. It's a Federal Signal Model 7. This one is really rusted, and it's a little banged up. You can still see some of the original color on it there, but it's not hooked up. The 3-phase isn't hooked up on this. It does still have the phone line hooked up to it, but it won't work unless you give it electricity. So there's our first siren on this trip, a Model 7. The next one is gonna be south of here. It's gonna be a little bit of a walk, so let's head on down there. So from the siren back there on Crenshaw and 71st, I came south down Crenshaw until I hit Manchester, made a left, went all the way down Manchester, felt like about a mile until I got to Western, and then a block, what are we gonna call it? A block east of Western, there's a street called Harvard, which is this one, and you'll find our next siren, the 500 SH-TT. SH for single horn, TT for two-tone. So that's our second siren, a 500 SH-TT on the corner of Harvard and Manchester over here. Looking at this one, it doesn't look like there's any power, and it doesn't look like, no, there is a phone line hooked up to it. So again, the phone signals are still hooked up to these things, but there's no power. So yeah, but this one's in really good shape. I mean, you can see there's like a little screen up on it in the middle there, and you can totally see the paint scheme. There's a couple of rust spots. Looks like there's a hole in it, but you know, it's been up there for like over 50 years. So it doesn't surprise me that there's rust and stuff. I really like these 500 sirens. I think these are my new favorite sirens that are out there, just because they're so different. And you know, you could, from different angles, they look different, and they're not as popular. I probably can count how many of these things I've seen on one hand. So yeah, so a 500 SHTT. All right, so the next one's another long walk, probably like another 1.5 miles up Western, and then I'll make a left and we'll go see siren number 3. From the siren there on Harvard and Manchester, I came up Western, and then I do-si-doed over to Van Ness, and I took Van Ness north to 59th Street, and 2 blocks west of Van Ness on 59th is our next siren, and there it is right there. It's another 500. So now I guess I'm gonna have to start counting these on my other hand. And this one's in really good shape. I mean, there's very little rust on it at all. You can see it totally moving up there now, back and forth as the wind blows. But yeah, the paint job is really good on that one. I don't see any rust. I mean, it's got some weathering. It's definitely got some dirt on it. The junction box looks clean. I mean, the whole thing looks really clean. Like, it looks like it was just put up not too long ago. And it's right here, right outside this elementary school playground. So again, another 500 SHTT. That's in really good shape. So from that really good looking 500 there at the 59th Street Elementary School, I went down Slauson until I got to a street called Alviso. I went south down Alviso until I got to 60th Street. And here's the final siren of this walk. And we're gonna have an SD10 to cap this off. 3 phases cut, but there is a phone line going up to the siren there. So again, it's got the phone signal, but it just doesn't have the power. The rust and the weathering of each one of these things, you could probably use those like as a fingerprint. Like, each one is got this unique look to them. When they were probably first put up, they probably all looked the same, but now they all have this uniqueness to them that makes going out and seeing the same thing over and over again. Oh, it's an SD10, but this one, it looks different than all the other SD10s that I've seen. So we started this morning with like the oldest siren, which was the Model 7, and then we saw 2 500s, 2 500 SHTT, single horn, 2 tones, and the second one we saw, that last one over at the 59th Street Elementary School, that one is probably in the best shape of all the 500s that I've seen on these walks. But coming up, I'm gonna have a special guest on our next trip. I'm hoping to work this out. So if you wanna see where we're gonna go, he's gonna go take me and show me something that is gonna be rather unique. So if you wanna see it, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss it. And I hope you enjoyed this trip. And I had a great time on this trip. Not only did I get to see some great street art with all those murals, there's so much great food in this neighborhood. And when I was at that 59th Street school, a woman came up to me and started asking me about the sirens, and we had this great conversation about like air raid siren history, and she told me about where her dad used to work here in town, which was right near one of the sirens, the swap meet siren that was on one of my previous trips. So this trip for me was really great, and this is why I love doing these things. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, thank you for watching, and I encourage you to, now that the summer's coming and the masks are coming off, to get out, enjoy the world, but as always, stay safe and stay healthy.